My number 5 is Trey Lance. Now, I know some people that have Trey Lance as the best quarterback in the draft. Like, my boy, Fair Shake Football, shout out to him. Go follow him on Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms. Very good podcast. Did a ton of draft stuff, guys. Ton of draft stuff. Trey Lance is his number 1 quarterback. So I'm going to start there. Okay? So Trey Lance is a specimen. He's a specimen. I understand why some people may have Trey Lance at number, 1 or 2, because he is a specimen and he stands out as like Hercules compared to his competition. I'm not even kidding you. Turn on the highlights of Trey Lance just for 2 minutes. Okay? Trey Lance looks like Hercules compared to his competition. He's running people over. He's running past people. He's got a cannon of an arm. All the physical tools are there when it comes to Trey Lance, man. This guy has a ton of potential. But the thing with him is he's very raw. Like, he only played 1 game this year, and he played all the games last year, but I believe he was a freshman last year. And he also plays on the best team in his conference, right? He plays on the best team with the best talent versus, bad competition. So when you take those things into account, it's tough to judge because he looks so much better, like so much better of an athlete than everybody he's playing against. So it's really difficult to judge that. And that's where I'm kind of like love and hate with my boy Trey Lance. But, just to say, if like New England were to pick him at 15, I'd be excited. Like, that's my team. I'd be pumped. Like, so I do feel he's a first-round quarterback because he has some of these awesome traits. What are those traits? Let's take a look. So, Trey Lance, first thing that pops off to me is his rushing ability. His rushing ability to me is the best in the class. And I say that because he has dynamic speed, breakaway speed, but also power. He can run you over in a Cam Newton type of way. I don't think he's as big as Cam, but he's pretty big. His arm strength, I think he has the strongest arm in the entire class. If he were just to line up and throw the ball as hard as he could to the guy standing 20 yards away, he would have the strongest arm in the class, okay? His deep ball accuracy is pretty solid. Pretty solid deep ball. He throws a lot of deep balls. That's the throw that you'll see the most often on his tape. A lot of his throws are very simple reads. A lot of it is play action, 2 guys going out on a route, streaking down the field, and he just throws it to one of them. But a lot of the times he makes the throw, and that's the impressive part. His size is obviously a skill. He is so big. He's difficult to take down in the pocket, a lot like Josh Allen or Cam Newton again. He, is tough to take down in the open field, and his size allows him to stay in and get hit and take hits while making a throw. He's actually got better mechanics than I would give, maybe to the guy ahead of him. I think he's got pretty good mechanics. Like, he does have erratic throws here and there with accuracy, which is why I have his weakness. One of his weaknesses is accuracy, but it's more like, if he can just fine-tune his mechanics, I do feel like he'll be a much more, accurate passer, and I don't think it will take a lot. I think a lot of it will be experience. He has untapped potential in his upside, like I just said. If he can fix some of his stuff as a passer, and just passing the ball more in general, like, he has the most untapped potential by far. And his toughness is very obvious by the way he runs with the ball. He tries to run you over. This guy never slides, okay? Never slides. His weakness is processing. Because he hasn't thrown the ball a lot, because he hasn't done it a lot, he processes kind of slow, okay? So a lot of the times it's simple reads. A lot of it's 2-3 men on routes. He's getting a lot of protection, and that's also a thing that when you watch the tape, you have to take into account, okay? He doesn't face a lot of pressure. When he does face pressure, he runs, okay? Because he's just that damn dynamic and he's that athletic. So he's a tough one to evaluate because he's so much better than his competition again, and he can just physically do things on the field that his opposition could not do, okay? He operated a very play action heavy offense where it was a lot of, 1 or 2 man, 3 man routes, and it's play action. They were a very run heavy team. And a lot of it, honestly, like, guys, this is one of his weaknesses. Experience. Throwing the ball. I'm dead serious. Like, he had games where he threw the ball 13 times. Like, 13 times in 2021. How many times does that actually happen? Okay? Like, 13 times. He had games where it was the third quarter. I had to legitimately check the like highlight or the game film and be like, what quarter is this? He's thrown the ball 3 times. Like, so it was really hard to get a sense of his consistency with his mechanics, his consistency with his accuracy, his just refinement as a passer, as a processor, because he hasn't done it enough. Like, you don't see it at all. So, like, all those things, he is not ready to play as an NFL starter today, tomorrow, this year. He's going to take a year and maybe 2 years. He is the biggest project out of everybody on this list because he's only played a year and a game, and he barely throws the ball. And in the NFL, as good as you are as a runner, you need to throw the ball with consistency, accurately, to be successful. Now, you may have a good baseline because you can run, and you can run well, and you can run a power offense. Like, I'd love to see him. First year as a starter, he's a guy that throws the ball 20 times a game, and he's running it 10 to 15 times a game, like Cam Newton, right? Like, he's a primary runner. He's operating a power running game. Like, that is what I would like to see from him early in his career, and then you can develop that passing, you can develop that precision as time wears on. That's the other thing with him in terms of a weakness where it's like, okay, he doesn't throw a precision offense. Like, if you're looking for Tom Brady, this is not your guy, okay? A lot of what Trey Lance does, it's explosiveness. It's 20 yards, 15 yards. At a minimum, it's a designed like throw on a bubble screen. Like, that is his short pass. He does not throw the ball short unless it's a play action boot or it's a bubble. Everything else is down the field, down the field, down the field, or run. So if you feel he fits that style and he's good at throwing down the field and he'll improve at it, right? Then he's your guy. But if you're expecting him to drop back and be in the shotgun with 5 wide and go, 1 read, 2 read option routes, Drew Brees, like, no, that is not Trey Lance, okay? So that is not why you're getting him. So I like a lot about him. Another thing I think is unique to him is that he has played, like, something that he is experienced with is he's played in pistol, he's played in shotgun, he's played under center, right? He's done it all in terms of the formation usage that they've utilized him in. So I like him a lot. He's got a lot of upside. Again, I like all these quarterbacks. There's things that I like about them. And I could see him having a super high ceiling. But I could also see him at the same time having a floor where it's like he never really ends up being anything because he just, at the NFL level, his ability to grasp a passing offense just isn't there. But he will get the opportunity eventually because he is such a good athlete. So Trey Lance is my number 5. Let me know your questions about Trey Lance.